Hello. All right, so I have a message. Okay. So I have two things I want to start with first and foremost. A song that I kept getting coming to me was it's called Po Folks by Nappy Roots. So I would advise going to look at that song or listen to it, but the lyrics, okay, may be very relevant and pertinent for those of you listening to this or those or of you who this message pertains to. Now, the other thing that I was guided to do was go to Numbers, and we have Numbers verse 3. Um, so it says, the Levites. This is the account of the family of Aaron and Moses at the time the Lord talked with Moses on Mount Sinai. The names of the sons of Aaron were Nadab, the firstborn, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. Those were the names of Aaron's sons, the anointed priests who were ordained to serve as priests. Nadab and Abihu, however, fell dead before the Lord when they made an offering with unauthorized fire before him in the desert of Sinai. They had no sons, so only Eleazar and Ithamar served as priests during the lifetime of their father Aaron. So that may be a verse that may be relevant or helpful for some of you as well too, and you can just correlate it to how this may pertain to this message, if it so applies. Okay, because I want to just go ahead and get into it. So the first thing is first, I was picking up the energy of something's going to be being revealed and exposed, and then um, I heard a karmic stole a checkbook. Okay, so first thing first is I wanted to know who is the karmic in this situation. Okay, and this was the identifier for the karmic, and the zodiac sign that came out was Gemini. Okay, so there's a karmic Gemini in this situation. They are being identified as they are being identified as the hermit in reverse. Now, traditionally, I would say the hermit in reverse is usually somebody who's coming out of seclusion after a period of long study and self analyzation and self discovery and things of that nature. And now they're ready to return to the world, because they went on their little pilgrimage and things of that nature. This could be somebody who did, in fact, like maybe they stepped back from the world in some form or fashion, or they went somewhere for a long period of time at a far distance. But what I'm seeing is that this is somebody who's coming up as an energy of somebody who is trying to steal another person's identity. Okay. I feel like this is a situation where I'm picking up very strongly that there is a Gemini who is trying to essentially like say that their story is theirs, but it's in fact somebody else's. So it's almost giving me a situation where somebody has been watching, researching, studying somebody else's, and I'll tell you who the person energy came up as. But they've been studying this other person's like lifestyle and things of that nature. I mean, it could just be their lifestyle, their story, their hardships, their I'm even getting like their education and things of that nature. Like this is someone literally trying to take on somebody else's likeness. So the person who they are trying to copy is someone who came up as the sign of Aries. Okay. So the energy came up as Aries energy. So, and it said that the Aries was actually the person who was the actual like teacher or the instructor or the person who actually has the experience or the education or the person who actually went through this like through like that has accumulated this life experience. Okay. So it's almost like a situation where this could be a Gemini who's going to try to say that they are this Aries, and this could be an Aries who is like a professor or a teacher or instructor or something of that nature. Or this is someone trying to say that, like, if Aries is the person who has been through, let's say, oh, I just want to make it very okay. Let's say Aries has had some type of experience that is like prevalent only to Aries. Okay. it's almost like this Gemini is going to try to come and say, oh, this is their life story that they've been through. So I guess the best situation is, if those of you who are familiar with, because I want to make it very like dramatic and drastic, so you can just get the picture, like, so you can just imagine like what I'm talking about. If those of you who know the story of like, or the movie Antoine Fisher, okay, this is like Antoine Fisher would be Aries. Gemini would be somebody who is just someone else, and they come and say, oh, that is their story, when in fact they never even went through that experience. So that's what I'm saying. It's like somebody who is coming trying to say that, oh, they went through this and that, and they're doing it. I don't know why, besides the fact that I was getting stolen identity. So this could just be someone who does this all the time. You know what I'm saying? This could be someone who goes and they tell other people like situations that have happened, but it's like it's not really their situation, it's somebody else's. So they could be like, oh, they got beat when they were a child, or they went to jail, and they did all these things, but it's like that's not really their situation. It's this Aries' situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's almost like maybe someone's trying to just take on the identity of another individual and say that it's theirs for whatever reason. Whether it's to just get attention, whether it's for monetary reasons, whether it's just because maybe they're trying to prove that they are this Aries, okay? But they're not. They're not. And I'm not clear in all situations. Is this Aries deceased? Like, is this somebody trying to take on a deceased person's identity or what? Like, I don't know what this is, because this could be a situation where maybe someone's trying to claim something of another individual who could be deceased. It could be. Okay. But either way, this Gemini is trying to take on the life story or life experiences of another individual. It's just weird, right? The other thing is what I'm getting as well too. If this person is a teacher, this could be someone saying that, like, trying to say that they are this teacher, or that they graduated from this school, or that I don't know. It could be a situation as well too where somebody is lying about like credentials that they have, but it's really the credentials of another individual. So this could just be a situation where whoever this Gemini karmic energy is, they have just wanted somebody else's life, and so they have essentially been posing as this individual. Either literally they're like saying that whoever this Aries is, that that's their name, whoever this Aries social security number is, that that's their social security number. It could be something very serious as that, or it could just be a situation where this Gemini has their own, they're still maintaining their own name, social security number, things of that nature, but they're just saying like let's say someone goes and researches somebody's resume or something of that nature. This could be someone putting all of the stuff down that Aries has on their resume on this resume for the Gemini. You get what I'm saying? And so then when they're going to apply for jobs, they're falsifying, saying, "Oh, they have this experience. They went to this school," when in fact they really didn't. They've just copied all of the information from a Aries. So that's the other situation that I'm picking up as well too. So it could be somebody that's just saying, you know, the information that they're putting on like applications, or the information that they're telling other people, like let's say in interviews and things of that nature. It's like it's really not their experience. They don't really have that experience. They've just been essentially researching whoever this Aries is, because apparently they like this Aries, or this Aries has some type of experience, education, work history that this Gemini maybe admires or wants for themselves, or they feel like it's good enough to get them into some type of place that they need or something of that nature. And so they're using that information, and then they're essentially repeating it. They're saying like, oh, they worked in this place, they went to this school, they grew up here. And it's like, in fact, that they never did any of that. Like they never have even had that experience. They just went and found somebody whose life they wanted to take on, and then they started taking it on. Some of them literally from everything from the name to the birthday to the social security number of that person. Or this Gemini is still in fact maintaining their own like personal information, but as far as when it comes to like work history, work experience, where they live, things of that nature, or educational experience and things of that nature, like from a resume background. It could just be that they're just copying, and putting it on their resume, or they're copying and putting it on applications, so that they can get hired. So that's that situation. The other thing that I picked up as well too, I said, who did this Gemini steal a checkbook from? So when I asked that, the energy came up as it's a man who this Gemini stole a checkbook from. I'm getting very strong Scorpio energy for this man. So this man could have a Scorpio moon, okay, or this man could have Scorpio North Node. But so this could be a Scorpio sun sign man, a Scorpio moon man, or a man who has Scorpio North Node placement, or there is just a very strong Scorpio energy here with this man. Now the interesting thing when we come to whoever this man is that this Gemini has stole a checkbook from, the man was coming up as this energy. So when we start looking into this energy, this is a man, like I got intuitively this, I'm like, is this person like religious or something like that, or this person is very like they follow some type of like belief set or belief system or something of that nature. So this person could have some type of very like structured or organized like religious practice or religious group that they're a part of, is what I'm picking up. But the thing is, the universe is saying whoever this man is, like, it's time for this man to make a choice. Like, you can no longer like you have an ultimatum. And this is when it comes to like who you have been, who this man has been being within relationships. Okay. I'm getting as well too when it comes to this man could be into more like darker things. And I kept getting like macabre or macabre. So hold on, let me look that up real quick. Because I kept hearing that. Like like this man is into like macabre or macabre, but it's like maybe he hides this, or a lot of people don't know this about this man. And I feel like if this man has Scorpio placements, okay, which feels very strong, or he's a Scorpio, it's like I don't think it's anything for him to like he should be being ashamed of or afraid of, or like it feels like he's like he tries to like hide this. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this could even be a man who like studies the occult. Okay, he could even be someone who has been looking and researching into like how to do like protective, defensive type of like magic or spiritual protection and things of that nature. But anywho, so macabre says the definition says upsetting or horrifying by association with death or energy, gruesome, constituting or including a representation of death. And then it says portraying human injury or death in a way so as to inspire shock or horror, gruesome, ghastly. So he could be into death. I guess he's into death more than maybe what he lets on, or it says macabre as well too could be used to describe something that is very strange and unpleasant because it is connected with, it's probably going to say death. Yeah, because it is connected with death or violence. Okay, so he could be into things of this nature. He he tries to hide this. Okay. Hmm. So I'm getting more so, if anything, this could be a man who's like into maybe like books or movies or things of this nature. Yeah. So that's what I get. But besides that, I mean, that's what macabre means. But I'm just getting more like this is a man who like he hides the fact that he's into like the darker nature, darker side of things. And I feel like that's very scorpionic. So it's just kind of like it's not weird, but I guess this man feels ashamed. I don't know if it's because maybe this religious group or whatever this group or organization that this person is a part of, that maybe this doesn't align with that, or maybe this person just doesn't want or just doesn't tell a lot of people what they're into. But this is the thing, like if a person who is into astrology, or a person who's very well, even just intuitive or psychic, you know what I'm saying, like they would be able to like look at this person, or they would be able to even read this person's birth chart and be able to be like, yeah, bro, we see that Scorpio, those Scorpio placements, okay, wherever they are, okay, like you're not fooling anyone. Like we already know what you into. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's kind of interesting because this person thinks like it's like they repress this, they hide this, they conceal this. But I guess on a lighter note, this is the type of individuals who would probably be best fit for like making like horror movies, like for like people who are into that. So people are actually into stuff like that. And the other thing is as well too, I feel like by who like this man hiding this and concealing this is like there's actually people who would still accept you. Okay, like as long as you're not out here being on weird stuff and acting this stuff out, like if it's just an interest that you have, like I don't, there are people who like, there are other people who have the same interest, or there are people who are not going to see that as weird, because especially people who are well versed in astrology, they're going to look at your birth chart and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like it totally makes sense that you would be into that. Like it's nothing surprising. You get what I mean? But the only people who would be offended or be weirded out or feel some type of way about it is just people who just don't understand either human nature or just people who don't understand astrology. But people who are very well versed in astrology, or just like I said, who are intuitive or just psychic, they're gonna naturally pick up or be accepting. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you will vibe with your tribe. So anyone who would be against you and your interest or the things that whatever that you find interesting or whatever like that, like those are going to be people who are not part of your tribe, obviously, period. Besides that as well too, this could just be a man who's very in tune like with his sexual nature. He could be someone who's had a lot of sexual partners. Maybe he's trying to hide that as well too. He doesn't want that to come out. And the other thing I was getting as well too, back to what I was saying about the universe. The universe is saying that it's time for this man to essentially like make a choice. Okay, so I was getting a few different scenarios coming through. In one aspect, this is a situation where there is a man, okay, or men, who have been who embody this energy right here, where it's a situation where they have to choose between what partners that they want to be with. And I mean either a man or a woman. Like this is no in between. You can no longer straddle the fence. For whatever reason, the universe is saying like you need to choose because like it's very clear to you that you know. So this is someone where you clearly know who you want to be with. You clearly know you either want to be with men, you clearly know you either want to be with women. I'm getting a few scenarios coming up. So this could be a situation where I heard for shits and giggles. This could be a situation where this could have very well been a gay man who went and started dating women, and marrying women for the sake of like getting money. And when they saw that, women would give them money, they still maintain relationships with men because that's who their preference is, but then they would marry women for money, essentially, like that, like I said, for shits and giggles. They could have been put up to this as a bet, or like I said, they just decided, hey, I need some money, I'm gonna go out on a whim and start doing this, and then they did it. It I guess it was working for them to some time. But it feels like whoever this is now is starting to realize that they actually like women, right? So this is where the universe comes in and saying you need to make a choice. Now, then there's the flip side of that. This could be a situation where there was a straight man who decided for shits and giggles he was going to start messing with men for money. You know what I'm saying? And then I guess he was doing well with it. You know what I'm saying? But this could be a situation now. This man is feeling like, okay, they like men. Boom. The universe is saying you need to make a choice because you clearly know what you like. Now, this could be a situation as well too, where it's an individual where I guess it could be a situation where there's a person who is I want to say it's a situation where I'm not sure if there's somebody who is conflicted about just telling that they've been doing this. And I don't know which side that they're on. I don't know if this is like a gay man who wants to come out and be like, okay, they've been like to their partners or their partner and say like they've been dating women and leading women on, or if this is a straight man who's been dating women, but now they want to tell the women or the woman that they've been dating men. Okay. But either way, it just kind of feels like there's someone who's been dating both sexes or having sex with both sexes, okay? And now someone clearly knows who they want to be with, okay? They clearly know who they want to be with in that situation. And the universe is saying you need to make a choice. You need to follow your heart and you need to go with whatever your heart says. You need not be focused on what society thinks. You need not be focused on what, like, whatever this group, organization, whatever that you're a part of, gang, coven, whatever this is. It is about like you following your heart, okay, in this situation, like your heart, your mind, and your soul. Like, you know what is the right thing for you to do in this situation, like, you know, okay. And I guess it further goes back to like what makes you feel like what does your heart really say, like what really aligns with your heart and your spirit, you know what I'm saying? um because I do see in like in the instances where someone has been going back and forth. In one instance, it's because someone feels like traditionally they're supposed to do one thing, you know, or because society says one thing, or because this is like what their culture, you know, is saying that they should do. And then in another instance, somebody feels like, you know, they like being taken care of. They like being, they like feeling, they like being catered to and nurtured and tended to and things of that manner. So I feel like whoever this is, they just need to decide. And the universe is saying, like, you have to choose. Like, you have to choose. Okay. Um, Now, besides that, the other scenarios, what I'm getting is that there could be a man who has these placements and he is kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Now, this man could have did something to another woman who he wants to be with. Okay. And he could have messed up with her, but now he's also attached to some like individuals who, like I said, this group, this gang, this organization, this coven. It could even be work, okay? But it's like he's attached to something else, and it's kind of like going against like what he really feels in his heart. Okay, this could even be a situation where a man is in a relationship with someone or several people, and it's like he don't want to be a part of that anymore. He wants to go towards this woman, and this woman is his wish fulfillment. But it's kind of like it feels like he could have betrayed this woman in some form or fashion. Either he betrayed this woman or he betrayed himself because he allowed himself to be involved in this group, this organization, gang, club, whatever, the coven, whatever this is, or even at this place of work. Okay. So either he has purposely, intentionally betrayed this woman and now he feels bad and he doesn't know if he's going to have an opportunity to go towards the woman who he really wants to be with because it feels like he's stuck between a rock and a hard place, or it's he got himself into some shenanigans because he got involved with some group and he didn't really know like what this group was about. Now I'm seeing in this particular instance, this is a heterosexual man, and it feels like as well too. um this could even be like I said, a religious group as well too that he may be a part of. So in some instances it could be the fact that maybe this man is in this group, this religious group, okay, and he has certain beliefs, but his beliefs don't align with whoever this other woman is. The other woman, her energy was coming up as the Empress energy, okay. Her energy was coming up as the Empress energy, and it feels like it's almost like he would be going against his group, his religious group, or his belief sets, or tradition, or his culture, if he ends up going towards this woman, because it feels like honestly he wants her to change her belief sets to be with him, and she's not going to do that because she is an Empress energy already, which means she's doing what she's supposed to do and she's good on her own, or she's going to be good with somebody who accepts her for who she is. She's not meant to convert is kind of what I'm getting. So she's not going to convert, she's not going to conform, she's not going to assimilate to whoever this man is and his belief, his group, his gang, his coven, whatever this is, his organization, his work, like whatever this is, she's not meant to convert to that. Okay, she's not meant to conform. So this is just a situation where he has to accept her for who she is and embrace her. And she is like I guess if it's money that he's worried about, he is not supposed to go towards her because he's worried about his money. He's supposed to go towards her because he purely loves her and he knows that he has faith that he's supposed to be with her. And I feel like by him going with her, there's nothing that's going to impede him when it comes to his finances. I guess it's so many different scenarios that I'm picking up. So I guess let me just give you a few examples. If this is a religious group, this man may need to walk away from this religious group that he's in order to be with her, because she's not going to conform. She's not going to change, or he essentially will just miss out on being with her. She's coming up as wish fulfillment. She's coming up as she's a blessing in his life. Maybe she was brought into his life to help him to realize that the belief sets that he initially thought aligned with him don't necessarily fit him. Okay? So that's one instance. Now, if this is a situation where this is a work environment, this could be a man who is involved with people or the boss at his work. And this man can't do anything because it's almost like, well, if he goes towards the person he actually wants to go towards, then that is going to put his work career or something like that in jeopardy. He could even, I'm seeing these are individuals, a King of Pentacles and a King of Swords, who are heavily, like the King of Swords is spying on this man for this King of Pentacles. That's why I'm saying this man could in fact be sleeping with the manager, the boss, the supervisor, or something of that nature. And this could put his job in jeopardy because it's essentially like he can't take a piss without these two people knowing about it. And this person knows about it because this person is the one who is stalking and spying and monitoring this individual. So this individual kind of feels like they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, because it's like there's somebody who they really want to go towards, but essentially somehow, some way, they've got themselves involved with something at work, or it's the type of work that they do that they can't really make a move towards this individual like they want to, and that's the person who they really want to be with. Now, in some instances, I was really getting the strong situation where it's like, okay, well, if this is a situation where you need to really have faith in God, okay, star card, you need to have faith, you need to believe, okay. This is a thing where it's saying, like, if these people are trying to blackmail you, God said you are supposed to proceed forward and do what you know you're supposed to do in this situation. Whether this is going towards this woman, making amends with this woman, or just walking away from this job, okay? Or walking away from this person who you've been dealing with and having some type of romantic sexual relationship with, and they're not going to be able to affect you. Because I kept getting the situation where it's like God is saying, like, okay, this is the situation. God is very powerful, right? So anyone that is an enemy of God will be an enemy of you. And anyone who is an enemy of you will be an enemy of God. Therefore, I say that to say you don't need to worry, whoever this is in this energy of feeling worried or afraid about taking the next step, because if you really rock for God, then God's going to rock for you, and God will turn these people's lives upside down. Just put it like that. Just to keep it cute. God will really put these people in a predicament that they don't want to be in. But you can't be flip-flopping, wishy-washy about who you riding for. Like, if you with God, then you need to ride for God, and you need to like put it out there that you ride for God. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to really stand on that, and God is going to like show up for you. Like, and you need to trust, know, and believe that in your heart of heart, like deep down in your spirit and your soul. Like, you need to know that, because this is the thing. I kept getting a situation where, like, you know how sometimes those parents be like, go ahead and walk in there. Like if, okay, let's say a kid says like, oh, such and such is trying to fight me or jump me or something of that nature, and then the parent comes up to the school or whatever like that, and the parent just stands there and they're like, okay, you're gonna walk in there, and I bet you they're not gonna touch you. And then, so once the parent comes with the child, and then the kids who were supposed to, I guess, jump whoever or beat up such and such or whatever, they don't touch this kid because the parent is there, and then the kid goes into the school. Boom. That's how I'm getting. That's how I'm getting with God. God is like, walk through there, and I bet you they won't put one hand on you. They won't touch one hair on you. So whoever is feeling this energy, you need to know that that is how God is. God is saying, like, you need to take the next step, okay? Because sometimes the very thing that you're afraid to do is the thing that you're supposed to do to get the blessing that you're supposed to receive. And sometimes, you fear things that are not even real. For instance, this could be someone who is worrying that something's going to happen that's not going to even happen. It's almost like maybe no one has threatened this individual, but this person feels some sense of threat, like, okay, well, if I do this, if I walk away from this, then this is going to put this in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? And this could be a man who is just in his head about things that are not even real. Like someone has fear, false experiences appearing real. It's not real. But this could very well be a situation for certain men where they have been threatened, or they're being threatened to be blackmailed as well too. And I'm telling you, God said, anyone who is an enemy of you is an enemy of God. And anyone who is an enemy of God will be an enemy of you. Period. That's just how it is. It goes both ways. So you can't flip flop is what I'm saying in the situation. So you just need to just believe and have faith, and move off of that. And this is the thing where God always says, like, you need to move off of you have to move off of faith. You can't move by sight. You can't move off of understanding, because sometimes there are more things at work or at play that we are not privy to. And this is why you can't lean on your own understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why when you trust in God, like, you really gotta fully trust in God, because God will tell you to do things that may not necessarily always make common sense to a lot of people. It's not supposed to, because God knows why God is doing what God is doing, because God has the overview, the oversight. Like, God has the eagle vision of every, like a eagle's vision view of everything that is going on, and things and matters and situations that you're not even privy to. So it's like, sometimes in instances when you know that this situation applies to you, there's no need to even be worried or to fear about certain things that you're worried about, because God already sees how things are going to play out, or God already has worked it out and orchestrated it to work out on your behalf. You just have to know and trust that, period. But that's pretty much the messages that I was getting here. Like I said, again, there's some type of karmic Gemini here in the situation. Karmic Gemini still in checkbooks and stuff, and a karmic Gemini that's trying to steal the identity or the life experiences or resume or whatever of a Aries individual. But those are all the messages that I have for you. Be blessed.